Sober October, day 23. Don't just stop, start. Sobriety is stopping, and for many people, stopping might be enough. But for others, you can't just stop at stopping. In order to really change your relationship with alcohol or change your habits, your behaviors, all that, you have to start doing something else. When we take something away, we create a void, especially if alcohol was used to numb or escape, forget, avoid, all of that. Even though it's not really a healthy behavior, when you take it away, it still creates a void. What you need to do is replace it with something else, i.e. a healthy habit. Something I like to say is that sobriety is about stopping, whereas recovery is about starting. Now, you might not need recovery, and I totally understand that, but I think there's some good principles that we can pull from this idea, because if you want to stop doing something, almost always, you need to start doing something else in its place. I'm in an online group of people just like me, and I posted this question. I said, fill in the blank. In order to stop drinking, I had to start blank. Here are some responses. I had to start doing something. I had to look inside myself, feel what I was feeling, take accountability. I had to start pushing aside my pride. I had to start being honest, acknowledging the wreckage and the consequences. I had to start being around a whole different group of people who weren't drinking. I had to acknowledge my drinking. It was impacting every aspect of my life. I had to start to want to live. Great stuff. And it highlights the differences between simply trying to get sober compared to healing, growing, and changing. So what's recovery? I've brought this up quite a bit during this last month. I have a video on addiction and one on recovery if you're really interested in diving into those topics. I'll link them in the description, but here's the short answer. Recovery is a process that helps people deal with and heal from addiction. Recovery goes beyond sobriety, and it's about healing from addiction. It's a process rather than just a goal or an outcome that we chase. Trying to get and stay sober is typically part of that process, but they are different ideas. Recovery typically includes a focus on sobriety, but there's also an emphasis on working through thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and actions that support and lead to addiction. Sobriety is important, and honestly, again, it might be enough for some people, but my perspective is that people who are truly addicted will be better off if they focus on recovery, not just getting sober. Why? Well, because sobriety puts the focus on stopping, which is what we need to do if you're addicted and it's ruining your life. Stopping is going to stop you from making horrible choices and experiencing the horrible consequences. But recovery includes a focus on not just stopping, but starting to make good, healthy, wise decisions so that we don't resort to alcohol or the behavior or whatever it is when we go forward. And it allows us to learn new ways of dealing with life where we used to deal with it with alcohol. Sobriety is about stopping. Recovery is about starting. As I said, recovery is a process, which is why people say they're a recovering alcoholic or a recovering addict. In recovery, I've never really met a single person who would say they're recovered. They're a recovered addict. That's not the idea. Recovery isn't a destination or a goal we arrive at. It's a process we enter into and stay in to continually heal, to get healthy, and to mature. What are some of the things that we have to start doing in order to stop? Well, we're going to go over a few of those the next several days. But that's it for today's podcast. I know it was a short one, but just wanted to keep it to the point. Hope it was helpful and gave you a different perspective on alcohol, alcohol use, alcohol abuse, and addiction and recovery. As always, thanks for listening, and we'll see you the next one. Bye.